The deepest position group in this class might be the edge rushing group. It is a very impressive group, and I can't wait to get into it. What's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know, so go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave that thumbs up if you appreciate the content. Go ahead, let me know what you think in the comment section below, because if you're not a Bro Scout tier member, you're not going to get all like 36 of these guys that I have listed. You're only going to get a top 10, and there's a lot of guys I'd love to talk about. So let me know in the comment section below, and we can talk it out there. But first and foremost, before we go into this, we got two guys that I don't have ranked because I don't think they're coming out. I'm going to first talk about the one I am pretty confident it's not, is going to be Nolan Smith at 6'3", 235. He needs to put on weight. He's got great get off, but he's shown nowhere near the production of a guy like Adam Anderson. Spoiler alert, he's going to make the list. Like Chris Jericho, you just made the list, for my wrestling fans out there. But there's something that tells me if he waits a year, or like even if he puts in some sort of development, some production this year, I still just don't see him getting a lot of snaps this year. I don't know. We'll find out. Sample size too small at the end of the day. And then the other one, Zion Toipaloa Fetty. Hopefully I nailed that. Probably not. But ZTF, he had the ACL, but he says he expects to return at some point in the 2021 season. Because the thing with him is he only has a 384 snap sample size. I was ready to put this guy in the first round. You could go back to my edge rankings. I didn't know a couple of days earlier he had tore his ACL. I had him at like third or fourth on my edge rankings. Still, man, I feel like we need to see a full season of him. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. But I didn't feel right putting him on the list because there's a lot of guys that warrant being put on the list. So let's go ahead and let's dive into this sucker. Number 10, Aidan Hutchinson out of Michigan. This guy's skill set just translates to the NFL. Unfortunately, it's not one that's typically highly sought out in the draft, but it's one that, you know what, it's going to translate. It's going to lead to success. He's going to be a very good player in the NFL. He isn't like a premier pass rusher. He's more of like an edge setter. He likes to control the line of scrimmage. Makes sense. Dude's very powerful hands. He uses leverage well. Just controls blockers at the line of scrimmage. He can cover up, like literally he could hold guys up and then use his other hand to block running lanes. I wouldn't say he doesn't really consistently bend the edge. Like he's just not flexible like that. Just doesn't have athleticism like that. But he is slick, man. He is slick. He's got a little shimmy to him. Like he's got probably one of the prettiest like push pull moves in this class. He's not scheme dependent at that size, 6'6", 269. He's a guy that literally you're going to love the versatility. He's going to fit any scheme you want. Number 9, Tyreke Smith out of Ohio State. I'm a big fan of Tyreke Smith's game, man. He's a former top 35 recruit from the 2018 recruiting class. He's not like a freak athlete like some of the guys I'm going to have on this list, but he still possesses very good power, some good quickness. This guy's got a motor, man. He stays a juiced, man. I like it. Not like, steroid juice. None of that. I mean, like he brings the juice like the OJ. He's got pep in his step. How's that? That's probably a better way to put it. What I like about him is how he uses his hands, and it's like a boxing match. He's got a lot of hand moves and hand counters. Great hand usage overall. 33 pressures and 2 sacks on just 154 pass rush snaps last year. That was a win rate of 20.7% and a pressure rate of 22.3%. He actually would kick in sometimes because, again, this guy is like he's got some power to his game, like real power. He legit, he's got a nice bull rush. Doesn't have a desirable get off, but again, with like the guy that's produced like this, and that's as technically sound in terms of how he uses his hands, if you could just like, add just a few more tools to that pass rush and toolbox, then yeah, man, I wouldn't mind moving him up, but I don't know how much further I can move him up in this stacked edge rushing class. Number 8, George Karlaftis out of Purdue. He's coming off kind of a downer year, filled with injury. But if he could look anything like his freshman season, then watch out, dude. He had 55 pressures and 8 sacks as a freshman. This guy, he wins with power. He ragdoll guys, man. It's insane how powerful he is. But at 6'4", 275, really lacking that bend, lacking that length. You're probably gonna have to kick to the inside or being like a 5 or a 3 tech and a 3-4. At least I'm just assuming, but the guy, he gets great leverage, walks guys back, has a great bull rush, but really feel like he's probably going to be more of an interior player. We'll see, man. We'll see how he does this year. Actually, I haven't looked this up. Does Purdue play Ohio State? I'm going to be very interested in that. Purdue versus Ohio State. I should have put football. They do. They play him at Ohio State. Wait, TBD. Oh, time. Okay. Dang, that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun because there's a couple of good tackles over there at Ohio State. Number 7, I got Myjal Sanders out of Cincinnati. And you'll notice first round grade. That's right. I got 7 edge rushers with first round grades. I'm not kidding when I'm saying this class is deep. I like a lot of this class. But Sanders, he's got great length. He combines that with really good lower body strength. The dude explodes off the line. Great get off. 76 pressures, 14 sacks over the course of the last 2 seasons. Being at Cincinnati, you might worry about the level of competition. The AAC is not like the ACC or the SEC. But in his bowl game against Georgia, he came up with 4 pressures and a sack. He looked great. He does need to use his hands a bit better and his length. Like, the dude's got great length, but he just needs to use his hands a bit more. Maybe add a little bit more mass to his arms. Just getting him higher. Like, he'll come in real low with them. Like, and there's times like it looks like one of those like wacky inflatable tube men, just like kind of like flailing his arms. Like, it just doesn't look like he knows how to use his hands properly. So that's something I think he could definitely work on. But in terms of just the skill set and what he brings to the table in terms of physical tools, dude, top notch. It's great. I love it. Number 6, I got Zach Harrison out of Ohio State, the other Ohio State edge rusher. He's a former 5-star recruit from the 2019 class. Solid run stuffer. And he's got actually some really good pass rush and upside. Just needs a little bit of polish. He's a long athlete. He's actually got some good explosiveness to him. He produced 22 pressures and 2 sacks on 144 pass rush and snaps. And that was good for a win rate of 24.6%. Doesn't have too many moves to his toolbox. And he relies a lot on physicality. Relies on those athletic gifts because he's got good length. He's got good pop in his hands. He loves the bull rush. That's kind of his thing. There's really no plan B if that doesn't work. And he's a bit of a clunky athlete. While I think athletically he's great, it's just he's not fluid. It's not smooth. You know, it looks a bit robotic. Let's take a moment to talk about today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest and the best place to go play fantasy football for big cash prizes. Ooh, wee. And let me tell you, Underdog, they got you covered. All you have to do is draft. No need to worry about injuries, waivers, or lineups. Underdog, they got you covered. So go online or use the app, which is pretty slick, and just draft a season-long best ball team, and they take care of the rest. No in-season management required. And they're willing to give you $25 when you sign up so you can take a shot in their $1 million fantasy football tournament, or you can play in some other best ball leagues, or even make prop bets. Now, you get that free $25 on Underdog when you use the promo code BROSHMO. It's free to sign up, so use promo code Broshmo. Bam, you get your $25 once you make your first deposit. So drop a buck in there, bam, you got $26. You big spender, y'all baller. But go ahead, support Underdog. It helps me out. It's always much appreciated, much obliged. And if you're looking for more fantasy content from me, check me out on TikTok at Broshmo. The link's in the description below. Number 5, we got Nik Bonitto out of Oklahoma. Oh, man. Some people will have him higher. Some people will have him lower. Mainly, I think he's kind of scheme dependent, man. At 6'3", 238, he has a frame that I don't think he could fill out too much more. But thank goodness, the dude's been very good in coverage for Oklahoma. He has 211 dropbacks throughout his career. And through that, he's only allowed 12 receptions for 192 yards, 0 touchdowns, interception, and 2 pass breakups. Like, this guy's gonna be your rush linebacker, your 3-4 linebacker to like 9 wide type of guy. Like, his game is all finesse, man, all finesse. Love his explosiveness. I love his agility, love his athleticism. He's just incredibly tough to deal with. Now, I'm not confident. I don't think he could get up to that. Typically, you want your guys around 250, 255. It's not necessary, especially for these finesse guys. You kind of live with them being around 245. But I don't know. I don't even know if he has 7 pounds he could put on in a good way. It'd be interesting. But the dude had a 28.6% win rate, 25.7% pressure rate. The dude was just freaking good. Number 4, Drake Jackson. I am a big Drake Jackson fan, but and I'll admit, I'm a bit biased when it comes to Drake Jackson. Because I look at his high-end plays, and they're beautiful, man. They're beautiful. This dude has the length, he has the bend, the flexibility, the explosiveness. Another guy that I have no problem being like a stand-up 3-4 linebacker or a 9 wide guy. Like, he's great when operating in space. But the production just hasn't been there, man. There's times where it just seems like he's running on empty, or he's just taking the play off. I need to see consistency. 43 pressures and 7 sacks on 518 pass rushing snaps through 2 seasons is not special, and especially if you consider his physical tools. You got to be better. If we could see that consistently this year, definitely. But honestly, I was on the fence of maybe taking him out of the first round. Again, you need these guys to be consistent. That's the name of the game. Number 3, I got Adam Anderson out of Georgia. This guy is fantastic. I loved Azeez Ojulari last year. I like me Adam Anderson a whole lot. Former 5-star recruit out of the 2018 class. 51 pressures and 7 sacks on only 196 pass rushing snaps. That's wild. I think the biggest knock on him right now, though, is he doesn't play the run. Like, not that he doesn't play it well. He doesn't play it. He's only had 60 career snaps versus the run. They just don't like to keep him on the field for that. Doesn't surprise me. 6'5", 235. And when they do put him on the field, it's just like, hey, go after it, kid. You know, because typically Georgia, they're more of a run contain type of defense. They like to stop the run first. But man, when they want to let their guys go, this is who they call. This is who they bring in. 31% pressure rate, 25.5% win rate. Just insane, man. Just insane. This guy's length, bend, flexibility, explosiveness, get off, his ability to turn speed into power. You just love all of that. He's got a good bull rush, but again, at 230, I don't think that bull rush is going to be very consistent in the NFL level. He is going to need to add some mass, and also he could do with adding a couple of more pass rush moves as well. Number 2, I got Kingsley Enagbare out of South Carolina. Literal bull in a china shop. You're going to hear everyone say it because it's true. And it's one of my favorite football terminologies, bull in a china shop. It's just great, man. But this guy, he's violent. He's powerful. but he almost plays out of control. He's got a physically imposing frame, like a bull, 6'4", 270. Great get off, very explosive, good length, high motor. It's just this guy, he plays out of control. He's easily knocked off balance. The technique's kind of everywhere. But even despite that, what he was able to do against SEC competition, despite not being the most polished prospect, 23 pressures, 7 sacks on 177 pass rushing snaps. That is freaking good. A guy with his physical profile, his athletic gifts, will only get better in time. This guy has great upside, and at least he had a good 2020 to really prove he is trending up. And then, of course, number 1 is going to be Kayvon Thibodeaux out of Oregon. This dude's great. Former 5-star recruit. He was the number 2 overall prospect in 2019. Possesses scary get-off. Great bend, flexibility. This dude, he takes zero time off, man. He's a 3-down guy. Never really came off the field last season, and it never appeared that his tank was running empty. He brought the same juice from the first snap of the game to late in the fourth quarter. I love that. I love that about him. Explosiveness, high motor. I don't know what else to say. I mean, last year it took a couple of games for him to get going, but when he did, it was at that USC game, man. 12 pressures against Elijah Vera Tucker. That's when you knew, yeah, Tucker, you can't stay at left tackle, my friend. You can't. But if anything, it's if we're gonna nitpick, it typically he kind of tips his cap, shows his hand. Tip early in the after the snap. Allow like better tackles will be able to at least to react to that. But again, nitpicking at this point, he's a great prospect. I will say this. I think I'm going to end up putting DeMarvin Leal as an edge since that's where he's playing. And he looks great at that. He looks great at edge at 290. He's kind of a J.J. Watt type of player in terms of he's kind of positionless. But I might put Leal ahead of Thibodeaux. But it's like a 1A, 1B. It was kind of like how I was with Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb. It was like kind of like pick whoever you want, man. Both are great. Well, my dogs are fine, so I should probably get out there. But that's it for the video. Go ahead and do that YouTube thing. And until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.